Comic fans, true believers, webheads, are you ready for another episode of Worthy Ones? That's right, guys, the video series where I take all the newest number ones that I read for the current comic book week and deem them worthy or not worthy. So before we dive into it, guys, I got a Kickstarter that's getting ready to launch that is written by Frank Zaka. This is called Destiny Aurora. This is an audiobook, novel series, and graphic novel. You guys like science fiction? This is going to be the story for you. I don't think you're going to be disappointed. I want to thank Frank for supporting the channel, and I wanted to let everybody know that his Kickstarter project is launching soon. So make sure you save it so you can back it when it launches. So the first book we're going to be talking about today is Street Fighter's Masters. This is Cammy issue 1. I'm telling you now, this is only a one-shot. So I was actually disappointed by that. I did not realize it. I would have loved it to be either a 2-issue story, 3-issue story, maybe even 4-issue story that features more characters than just Cammy, but having Cammy be the feature character of the story. And yes, she is the feature character, but she's not the character that maybe you would want to see, okay? If you're an 80s, 90s kid, you guys love Street Fighter. You spent hours and spent a lot of money trying to beat that video game, right? And you got to try to beat it with all these different characters, including Cammy, and she was one of the more attractive characters in the game. She wore a beautiful outfit, and she kicked ass, take names. Well, in this comic book, when you look at the artwork, even though it's very pretty, it's very bright, it's very vibrant, and all the characters have great facial expressions in it, you never see Cammy in that outfit. She's pretending to be a model, and she's keeping tabs on this, like, admiral or general that's attending this fashion show, and he is going to be assassinated, right? They have intelligence that he's going to be assassinated. And at the same time, the person that's going to go after is like the Seth character. Now, if you're not familiar with Seth, he was introduced in Street Fighter 4 as the main boss, and then I think in Street Fighter 5, he became a she. So we wound up getting to see a battle here between Cammy and Seth. And Seth is actually trying to also go after Bison, and Bison is not really in this comic book. He's an illusion. It's just one big brawl. There's no real meat to the story. Again, it looks good, but I would have loved to seen Cammy in her original outfit. So at the end of the day, guys, I'm going to deem this book not worthy. Yeah, I thought there would be something more to it. I thought there was going to be other issues of it. I thought there was going to be other characters involved, and it didn't have any of that. So I'm going to give this book a D+. There is other comics out there that you can spend your $5 on, so pass this one up, guys. The next book we're going to talk about is a book that I had no expectations for. This is Terror War. This is issue 1. This is written by Solomon Ahmed, who most recently did Miles Morales, and Dave Acosta did the artwork in here, which is actually really good. I love the way Earth is depicted here. A lot of artists do this, though. Like, Earth is just this, you know, world where it's overpopulated, it's poor, there's people scraping by, trying to survive against supernatural terrors or enemies, or whatever the case may be. But in this comic book, we get to see these creatures called terrors, and some of them actually kind of look cute. But what is a terror? Where a terror is actually a manifestation of your mind. It's like your greatest fear, right? And for some reason, this poor soul was scared of this thing right here. And so what happens is we have these soldiers that are out there, terror fighters, and they are actual contractors that go out to a job and destroy these creatures when these creatures wind up popping up. Our main character in this comic book is Mohammed Cho. Now check out this guy here, man. He looks pretty awesome, right? Doesn't he look like a kind of like a leaner, thinner bishop? That's what I got out of this. And what I got out of this comic was kind of like a a mashup between like X-Men and Something is Killing the Children, right? So I thought that was actually really cool. But we get to see Muhammad take out this terror creature, and we get to see the way, again, Earth looks like, and then we get to see his supporting cast of characters. Now, this book did a really nice job at introducing the main character and the supporting cast, the antagonist at the end, and we get to see great action, great pacing, and everything like that. Again, characters look phenomenal in this comic book, or I'm going to deem this book worthy. That's right, guys. This book was absolutely phenomenal. I thought it was so much fun. It's everything that I wanted in a comic book, and I'm going to give this book an A. It surprised me on all levels, and I love when comics do this, and I can't wait to see where these creatures come from, right? How did they just start appearing out of nowhere? And who is this rival terror fighters that is going after the bounties of Muhammad Chu's people, right? Definitely an interesting comic. If you're looking for something different this week, that this was not on your radar, I definitely say pick this one up. So curious to hear what you guys think about this comic book. We have Warlock Rebirth. This is issue 1, written by Ron Martz. Ron Lim does the artwork here. Now, the artwork is actually pretty good in this comic book. Definitely reminds you of like 90s vibe, right? All the characters are bright or vibrant. Gamora looks good. Pip the Troll looks good. We get to see Legacy, who is Captain Marvel's son, the original Captain Marvel. We get to see Adam Warlock here back when he was first created, you know, going back to the history of the character. And then, of course, we wind up getting to see a new Warlock, and she is called Eve Warlock. Now, this is a female who is trying to take over Adam Warlock's position. We don't know who created her. We don't know why. But we wind up getting to see Legacy make his way onto Monster Isle. He wanted to talk with Warlock to learn more about his dad and stuff like that, and see if he can help. And he comes across Gamora and Pip the Troll. So as they are bringing him to his cave or his little hideout or wherever he is and whatever he's doing, you wind up seeing this struggling Adam Warlock as a new cocoon was created, came out of nowhere. She hatches from the cocoon, and right away it looks like she's superior over Adam Warlock, right? And at the end of the day, she takes the gem out of his forehead and she disappears, and we see Adam Warlock, who is basically almost powerless by the time we get to the end of the issue. And now we have to figure out what this mystery is, like why she was created, who's the main person behind this, and all this other different crazy stuff, right? So I'm going to deem this book worthy because I want to find out all those things, okay? And I thought the artwork looked good. I love Ron Martz's artwork, but the one thing that I'm so curious to see in the comments below, if you guys agree with a different Warlock character, another Warlock character, as we have so many duplicates in the Marvel Universe of characters. Did we need a female version of Warlock, right? So I'm so curious about that stuff in the comments below. I'm going to give this book a C+. I was entertained. It was a page turner for me. I just don't know if I agree with having a female Warlock. I'm just curious to see where the story is going to go from here. So next book we're talking about is definitely a book I had no expectations for as well. And this one wound up going to Superboy, the Man of Tomorrow. I think this was the winner of last year's DC's March Madness Round Robin winner, okay? So when I saw this, I'm like, oh man, I'm so hesitant about this. This is a story with Connor Kent, who is a clone of Lex Luthor and Superman, okay? The artwork is pretty good in this comic, and it's written by Kenny Porter and Janoy Lindsay. We get to see a different cast of super characters in here right from the beginning, as we get to see, Connor, Kara, Clark, and everybody else. We get to see different types of alien species in this comic. We do get to see the Dominators in this comic book as well, who are trying to take over this planet. The creature also looks very cool in here also. So that was neat. And then all the little science experiments or clones that the Dominators created. They look really good too. So the artwork was really nice in here. Facial expressions really good. So the overall story of this comic was about Connor, who felt left out, okay? He doesn't feel like he fits in with Kara, I should say, Superman, Superboy, and he goes to the Fortress of Solitude, and he wants to find his metropolis. And I thought that was kind of cool because it's like he feels left out. So he goes to Helix, they find this place, he has this transporter bracelet that takes him to this place, and it's being overrun by the Dominators, okay? And so he wants to save this species, and I found it hilarious that he had this translator, and he's trying to translate to the species, and they're just like, there's an abomination here, like, run away, run away. So there was some comical moments, and that happens right here in that panel. So in the comic, you wind up seeing Connor go through his struggles as he's trying to defeat all the Dominators, people and creatures and whatnot. And again, they're being overrun by these monsters. And by the time you wind up getting to the end of this comic book, we wind up getting introduced to a brand new villain. And you're like, oh, okay, a brand new villain? This becomes a first appearance of a new character? Spec? No, just kidding. Overall, I thought it was a great comic book, and it was worthy. That's right, guys. This book was definitely worthy. I did not expect it to be this fun of a story. This was like a galactic adventure that Connor went on to try to save the universe or to try to save this world, and it's much harder than he expected. It's got good emotional moments, and I can't wait for the next issues. And if I had to give this book a grade, I'm going to give this one an A as well. So curious to see where future issues go with this, but you won't be disappointed with this read. So there you have it, guys. There are the #1 issues I read this week. I know there's a few more that came out, so if there's any others that you want to discuss, just put it in the comment section below. Until then, guys, I'm going to leave you my newest comic book day haul with everything I picked up. Lots of great stuff that I picked up. You're not going to want to miss it. And of course, guys, as always, keep buying, keep collecting, but most importantly, always read your comics. Guys, I'll see you real soon. Take care. Bye.